जयपुर वाया कोटा।
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत.
Lucknow Junction.
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವರೆ
Hyderabad को 50 एक्सप्रेस পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন कृपया ध्यान दियो.
Well, the IPL always promises to be more cricket than all other cricket, and it's literally so because it's taken 2 hours and 2 minutes to finish one innings right here in the very first game. I don't know what's going to happen when the heat gets more and more as the season goes on. I don't know, could we have a T20 that's longer than a one day? But one days these days are longer than one day, they're 2 days, so I don't know what's going on, but we'll just enjoy what has happened. And what has happened is that Chennai was put into bat and Ruturaj Gaikwad was the star of the show. Undisputed, undoubted, 92 of 50. Finally got out to a full toss and we will discuss whether that was out or not. The Hawkeye line seemed to think so, but that line kind of, was all over the place. Bit like this show. Hello and welcome to Cricbuzz Live. I'm Gaurav Kapur, with me Joy Bhattacharya and Harsha Bhogle. Good evening, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Feels like we saw each other so long ago, right?
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Can you see a little more grey by then?
That's right.
I just had to shave.
My beard's come as well. My 5 o'clock shadow's become an 11 o'clock shadow. But yeah, let's address that first, right? There was a talk. That's because yesterday in the curtain raiser we said there will be some penalty. We don't know what it is to go over. Yeah. But this is a little crazy.
I mean, I'm trying to think of all the stoppages.
Yeah.
There was a Kane Williamson injury.
Yeah.
There was the ball hitting. They thought the ball had hit the spider
I didn't
cam.
understand what happened there.
If the ball hits the spider cam cable, it's a dead ball.
No, I don't know who thought that it was hitting something.
And also the light was at the back, so you couldn't actually make out.
I'm like, what are they checking? It's not hit anything. Yeah,
so
there was
all
a few.
These things took such a long time.
Yeah.
So maybe they added all that, but still, I mean, started
37 over? 37 minutes? Were they worth 37 minutes? That's
37 minutes, yeah.
That's a question you have to ask yourself.
But let's talk about the injury because we have touched upon that. Kane Williamson, we've spoken so much about how important he was, a great buy for GT. But hey, man, you can't find destiny, can you, Joy? Something like that happens. And First of all, as a cricket fan, that was just agonizing to watch. Yeah. As a Kane Williamson fan, that's agonizing to watch.
Yeah, in slow motion, watching him, just when he came down and you saw that knee buckle, that's not good news. I mean, I'm sure the physios will know better with that.
Gary said it didn't look good either.
Oh, man,
the sad thing was,
that's a bummer.
They were checking the six.
Yeah.
And so every time they checked the six, you saw him falling from a different angle.
Yeah.
And you saw that knee just going from a different angle. But just the look on his face said, I don't like what's happened to me.
Yeah.
And then the fact that he had to be carried off.
Yeah.
And I hope they found another way to get him up those 90 steps up to the change room.
Absurd that the dressing room is 9 floors higher than the ground. This was not a ground made for players.
How do you go to 9 floors?
90 steps, just being more dramatic.
Ah, okay. Oh, I thought I missed something.
So 4.5, 5 floors still. Going up 5 floors is a lot.
Yeah, I think it's about 75
steps. So हमारे 2 studio 1 floor हैं, कभी-कभी मन करता है lift मंगा लो.
I think about 75-80 steps.
Yeah.
I remember saying, and I'm not being rude, I remember saying then, when the pink ball test was on, it was taking the England batters longer to come down the steps to come to bat than the time they were spending in the match.
Naughty. Mr. Bhogle is a naughty. Well, I'll tell you somebody who was very naughty today because he was toying with the bowlers, with the field, with the conditions, the pitch. Nothing mattered to him. And that is Ruturaj Gaikwad. Jeez, he was looking in sublime form. Joy?
No, absolutely. And the way, and just his start, that first 6, just set it with Joshua Little. Yeah. The first 6 and then the 4. And then we've been all talking about it, the kind of starts he's had. And he's not exactly, he's a Mumbai Indians kind of starter, comes late to the game.
Yeah.
This guy just
You're not holding back today.
Well, sure, it's facts. Hashtag facts. But the one thing about Ruturaj Gaikwad, all his 6s, none of them were about brute power. They were all about the Thanksgiving turkey. They were all carved, weren't they?
Well done.
Oh, thanks.
But there were 2 matches going on. In one match, a batter scored 92 or 50 balls. In the other match, in the remaining 70 balls, all the other batters scored 86.
Yeah.
So there were 2 games going on. Also, for the other batters were heaving and hitting the ball. And this guy was just saying, He's just dismissing it.
Dismissing them from his
He's just
presence.
dismissing. He was. And the shots that I remember are not the ones that went for 6, but the ones that just beat the field through sheer timing.
Yeah.
The ones he hit through the offside. He was, I think, at one stage, I'd love to see the numbers exactly. I think he suddenly didn't get enough of the strike.
True.
And I just
Got hogged on the other
exactly
side.
want to talk about, because he got out in the 103rd legitimate ball of the innings.
Yeah.
He batted 50. Given the form he was in, he should have been playing at least 55-60% of the strike.
Yes.
He should have been given the strike. And I think that is the one thing where you see this total of 178 and say that perhaps they could have got another 15-20 just by allowing him to get to and you could almost make out where, they were tying Shivam Dubey down. It was a tactic trying to frustrate him. And, Ruturaj is standing at the other end wondering what he can do.
Yeah, can't do anything from the non-strikers end, can you? You've got to get to the strikers end. But that's actually going to be the thing that Chennai will look at when they analyse this game. They're going to say, well, we all could have done just a little more. Because Ruturaj Gaikwad has basically been Shravan Kumar in this innings.
I'm just trying to see, 11 to 15, in the 13th over, Ambati Raidu got out. It was 121. Then they put on 30 runs in the next 5 overs.
Yeah.
4.5 overs. They only got 30, and that included some shots from Ruturaj.
Yeah.
And that is where the innings just got marooned.
Runaball is unacceptable. I mean, we were talking during the com box when it was 93 for 3 at the end of 10 overs.
You had to make 200.
Yeah, and you said 200, and you said if it's less than, your words were if it's less than 185, this will be a seriously bad back 10 for Chennai.
And it has been.
And you think it has been. And Gujarat, despite the fact that they've lost Kane, which will now impact the impact player.
Yes.
We'll talk about that in a second. Despite that, they're going to take this back 10 and they're going to, thank you very much. It's not our birthday, but we'll take this. Let's talk about the impact player now, because we have a list of their substitutes. We always knew that they're going to take a bowler out and get a batter in for the second half for their batting. But now they have to do it. They have to get Abhinav Manohar in.
Or Sai Sudarshan.
Or Sai Sudarshan.
One of the two genuine batsmen.
Correct.
Do you think they'll bring Sai Sudarshan in because and play him at 3?
Could be, because otherwise, just look down that side.
Because they don't really need that brute hitting, do they? I
Who's
mean,
going to bat?
The score's not crazy.
Are they going to bat Vijay Shankar at 3?
Yeah.
Then Hardik Pandya at 4. And then look at Tewatia 5, Abhinav Manohar 6, Rashid Khan 7. That's not looking great. So they might say, okay, Abhinav, sorry, we'll get a Sai Sudarshan to bat at 3 to play the kind of role Kane Williamson played. Because the plan was, Yash Dayal goes out, Abhinav Manohar comes in, and we've got batting up to 7, Rashid at 8.
Yeah.
I think that was the plan, but the best laid plans of
Mice men and captains.
No, there's a third also. It's captains also.
No, he just
Oh,
added
you've added that now.
He just added
Okay. Yeah, so basically now, what do you think? Where do you think they should go? Vijay Shankar at 3 sounds good.
It sounds good, but even then, Vijay Shankar at 3, Hardik Pandya at 4, you're talking Tewatia 5. Or you're looking Abhinav Manohar 5, Tewatia 6.
I'm looking at another one. Why not Abhinav Manohar 3? Give him license. Say finish the game.
Yeah. Wherever he scored runs, whenever he scored big runs, he's come down and scored those big runs.
Yeah.
I don't know where he batted in the Karnataka Premier League, where he first attracted attention. But they wanted him to come at the back end. You suddenly need 50 or 4 overs. Right, we'll send this big hitter out.
Well, of course, when you look at the other side at Chennai, they are not flush with bowling options as well. I mean, they've got 3 spinners.
Especially not fast bowling options.
Yeah, they haven't got fast bowling options there. They probably might get a Tushar Deshpande in or Simarjeet that you said there's 2 over there. But otherwise, look at their bowling options.
No, they can't get Simarjeet because he's not enlisted.
Oh, he's not listed.
So Tushar for Raidu.
So there you go. There's Hangar Gekar, Chahar, Deepak Chahar,
That's it.
Mitchell Santner,
No,
Ravindra
but
Jadeja.
in terms of pace, that's it. Only 2.
Oh, there's only 2 pace options,
Correct.
yes.
Tushar for Raidu, or Tushar if they want to save him or they feel that he's safe for Stokes. But you'd rather have Stokes than Raidu as a fielder out there.
You want Stokes definitely in there. Let's have a look at their subs as well and see who they've got listed and who they can get in. There you go, Tushar Deshpande. There's Subhranshu Senapati, Sheikh Rashid, Ajinkya Rahane, Nishant Sindhu.
3 batters. So they don't need any of those 3 batters.
Yeah.
So Nishant Sindhu, the spinner, they already got 3 spinners, but we've seen that there's only 4 overs of spin bowls.
I think it's evident that they've listed Tushar Pandey in the top. That's a substitute. Baki 4, chalo koi bhi naam likh do, right? Because they obviously, why would they list batters when they're batting first?
They're batting first.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it doesn't
The
make any
only
sense.
reason could be, suppose they suddenly find themselves 20 for 4.
And get Rahane in.
So you can get
Then
some...
send someone to stabilize it, pour oil over troubled waters, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Interesting. So keep one bat there always, even
Keep
if
one bat to pour oil over troubled waters.
Oh, that's interesting. All right. Well, 179 is what Gujarat needs to get. Your reading of the conditions of the surface, Joy?
I thought it was a marvelous wicket. It had bounce. What you could make out was when the bowlers finally adjusted to the conditions, or when Ruturaj was not going berserk, both those bowlers had great comebacks. If you see what Alzari Joseph does, he goes for, I think, what, 18? 18.
In his first over.
In his first over. In the next three, he gives, I think he went to 33 finally. So 15 in the next
Alzari finished 2 for 33. Right?
Yeah.
And Josh Little again went for 15 in his first over, comes back very well, then goes for about 13 in his
Let's
last
just
over.
show you the bowling stats so that the math becomes easier. Let's pull them up on the screen so you can see them. Both Alzari and Josh Little did not have a good start. Well, Josh Little's gone for 41 of his 4. He's got the 1 wicket. But there you go.
So he went for 15 in his first and
You had
13
26 in the back 3, but you had to bowl the last over too.
Yeah, he had to bowl the last over. You have Alzari's picked up 2 wickets, Rashid 2 wickets, Mohammad Shami 2 wickets, and that the first one was just a beauty.
There was one phase when Hardik Pandya and Alzari Joseph were banging it in short. I think Hardik bowled 1 over and Alzari bowled 2 overs that were really rapid because Saha was jumping up and catching it.
Yeah.
And that was to Shivam Dubey, and that is where the game changed. There is on this track, if you're willing to bend your back and hit it hard, there is pace on this track.
But you need to have that
Quality
pace first,
pace.
right?
That's
There
my
is no
thing.
breakaway, tearaway pace bowling.
And
there.
even Deepak Chair is more of a mover of the ball rather than a...
Exactly. If at Deepak Chahar's pace, if you're bouncing the ball in and it sits up nicely, then any batter's going to take that.
But for them to get these runs, Shubman Gill has to play a big innings now. Because if there is no Williams, then Shubman Gill's got to play a big innings. Because this side really, in terms of batting pedigree, is Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya.
Yeah.
Go on.
Well, there you go.
Then what?
Yeah, you're right. In terms of
so
proper
Shubman Gill,
international batting
He
pedigree,
has to play a big one.
Yeah.
And Saha tees off.
Saha will, right? Because that's how Saha
That's
knows
his
how
role.
to play.
That's
his
his
role.
He has to tee
Remember that Chennai got a very good power play eventually. They went at about 10 in the power play, right? They got 93 in the first 10. So if Saha will definitely, if he
has
can
to.
do that, then then a Hardik at 4, then it doesn't matter who bats at 3 because then a Hardik at 4 knows, because the new Hardik that we see wants to shake hands at the end with the opponent and then come, right? Wants to finish the game and come. If they give him a good setup like they did
You
last
said
year.
you were watching him in Ahmedabad and he was hitting some big ones. You were telling us.
I was there at the practice and I saw 20, 30 rows back. It was just boom, boom.
Yeah.
Tewatia and him both. Centre wicket, swinging, boom, like right out of the
So,
ground.
I think
after
one
the
thing
other.
they've done is they've
And
said-
especially to the spinners. I'm sorry, I just want to add that.
Yeah.
Especially to the spinners. He was merciless with the spinners. And Chennai's got 3.
Actually, if you look at it, they bat Saha up front. But Saha has always been known to be merciless to spinners because he reads them so well as a keeper.
Great
He's
point.
been merciless to spinners.
But MS ends up using a spinner once in a while during the power play.
But since he talked about Saha, how good was Saha behind the stumps?
Oh.
The first catch, it just slipped by, but he controlled it. The second catch, the big edges are very difficult to catch.
Yeah.
Because there's a big deflection.
And how low?
He just
How
took it
low was that?
Excellent.
It was very good glove work. But again, an advantage for the Gujarat batters is that the Chennai bowlers can't warm up because there's apparently a light show going on at the stadium right now.
And you know what happens with the light shows? There's darkness all over when the light show ends. And boom, the lights come on and the players are already in the middle. So they come out in the dark sometimes.
Oh, jeez.
So
Also, adjusting to the light must be difficult here.
there's one thing I do want to say about Saha though. There was one replay I desperately wanted to see which I didn't see.
Then he
Was
ran
the
back.
catch Saha
Fine
ran
leg.
all the way back. Now what happens with modern cameras is because the cameras come in so close, you only see the last 2 strides that he's taken.
Yeah.
And you look at it and say, Saha dropped the catch.
No.
I actually think that it was the fine leg fielder's catch. He should have been running forward to take it, whereas Saha's run all that way back. So sometimes when you show the high 45 angle, you realize how much he's actually run to get there.
Yeah.
So for all those of you think Saha dropped that catch, I think he's covered a phenomenal amount of distance to actually get there. I think it was Yash Dayal's catch.
Yeah.
But that's the point. If a keeper ever goes for a catch, every fielder's trained to just
Because
say...
of the glove. I don't know who called, right? We don't know. Unless
Yeah.
Saha called for it.
Yeah.
Saha must have called for it because Yash Dal was definitely, just 10 yards away.
Yes. I think Yash should have said, mine, straight away.
I think they
But
didn't.
we don't know. We're reading too much. We only saw one replay.
I think they didn't want to take the catch. Anyway,
Yes, it was Shivam Dubey batting.
who was stuck at that point in time,
exactly.
right? And every ball is so precious
Give him a
that
single last ball of the
Yeah.
yeah.
Their conspiracy theories here.
Just want to say that for Chennai, of course, there's Deepak Chahar, who's the most prolific wicket taker in power plays, and today they will really rely on him and say, buddy, you got to get us 1 or 2 right up front. We're going to give you 3, no problem. Take these overs and give me something, is what Dhoni will say, because there is no Kane Williamson from the looks of it.
Yeah, exactly. You're looking at 2 mirror image sides. So Chennai is really deep in batting, but their fast bowling is not great. They went in with 4 legitimate fast bowlers, but their batting pedigree is somewhat suspect. So
In fact,
mirror image sides.
In fact, they were in the 5 because Hardik bowled 3. That Hardik, Little, Alzari, Dayal and Shami.
And Shami, 5. 5 legs.
But they want Chahar to do what Shami did at the start. Remember that first over you were drooling over.
I was just drooling over what Shami was doing. All right.
They want Chahar to bowl those first 3 overs the way Shami bowled those first 3 overs. Without that full toss no ball.
Yeah. All right. Can they do it? Can they not? What's the crystal ball? What's the hashtag?
First, somebody won the competition.
Oh, we must applaud him. 177 was Mr. Bhogle's score guess. They got 178. Well done.
But why are you applauding? If Dhoni finishes a game, you don't applaud, right? Because he just does it, no?
I think he's going to be on the road for a while, so he's quickly putting these in before he goes.
I mean, he is wearing...
I'm doing a 3:30
He's kind of wearing a yellow. He's kind of wearing kind of yellow, so you know who he's siding with. But hashtag feels?
Hashtag very good. But also feels hashtag Tukka.
Okay, very good. And for the result?
The result?
I'm going Chennai only because I feel that if you get a couple of wickets with this team, they're going to struggle.
It's a score that a good batting side should chase down comfortably.
Yeah.
But I don't know if this is a good enough batting side now to chase it down.
It's Williamson out.
So I think it's a sort of 50-50 game at this stage in my view.
Okie dokie. Well, whatever it is, we'll be here to talk about it, analyze it, have a laugh, have a bit of a chat. But before that, we're going to see you at the end of the 10th over on Cricbuzz Combox. So do join us then. So all we have for you now on Cricbuzz Live. A big thank you to Joy and Harsha. I'm Gaurav Kapur. We'll see you in a bit. Later.
Jaipur via Kota.
कृपया ध्यान आपो अहमदाबाद
दिल्ली में आपका स्वागत
ನಿಲ್ದಾಣದ ಕಡೆಗೆ ಹೊರಟಿರುವ ರೈಲು
Hyderabad Superfast Express পরবর্তী স্টেশন নেতাজি ভবন। कृपया ध्यान दें